Wati do suruati do na noje because soma moy back. But the kachako no angale bi duna jela because kudol kumatale abe kola ninko bol jaba kese wotola ning manika kawala amanke konna mane kaw mankoy bari the older ka kola do mandinkele wati do so just y'all bear with me. I'll do my best. Can make sure nga angle accounting money account for because all kumatale. Anyway, that has always been my goal to do both to ensure that this is not a predominantly one language discourse that I continue to have, but to do a little bit of each of it to make sure that I'm not alienating any group. Me and Uncle they're interested to hear my voice or just to listen to anything that I say at all. So be kacha abe with dending ko min dolong the United Democratic Party mingata UDP itolmu party balati Gambia kono jang imeta kele party bati Gambia kono kabrin 1996 and ila party nyaton ko Alhaji Honorable Ousainou Darboe min nata ke former vice president Gambia and fana lawyer balemati Gambia I do ko jamala ke Gambia I sacrifice jamala ke Gambia Alhaji Ousainou Darboe tani mo dantan lebe lorin la kilimo to mi yalan ko se jibe safo ko he ñing kay to ñaato ñam man fen so to be min fo la ñu la ñu yakata baba ke Gambia Alhaji Ousainou Fani Halifa Sallah. So United Democratic Party kabri loda fo bi ya ku jamala ke ya bata jamala fanan taki ya ku kende jamala fanan ke bari ku dol fanan bi jela mi yalan ko sol fanan isela katol la fano wolto pour ka make sure party fanan sitano nyaato so party la diamo mbebe caring science and thing abe dending party la next nyaato kolla jumala be lola party ñun toyala kata 2026 presidential election and mobe yalo na ñimanke kukutati Ousainou Darboe sign kolbe daming ke ba kanne kachabe keri ne pour ka make sure ko party ñing they take a whole new direction in terms of leadership whether it be Talib Ahmed Bensouda, Lord Mayor of KMC, Wallah, is going to come in the person of Yankuba Darboe of Brikama Area Council, where I'm from, or some other individual. But generally, these are the two individuals me Alonko will let talk Ghana for. And both Talib and Yankuba are young. They are both modern, they are both smart, they are both competent. They are also very Pan-African, which is extremely important. But Ning discussion on is also sparking a lot of division and controversy within the party. I like the fact that Ousainou Darboe, who is the leader of the party, is not coming out and being reactive about this issue. I think party akumayatale, especially Ni Kayala, can make sure you put your party together and you are not seen to be very reactive. Because it sparks a lot of division and disunity within the party. You must be seen as manifesting calmness and leadership during chaos and confusion, because I feel like in the public space that is what is happening within the party members. And you have to realize also, United Democratic Party, at its core, it's a very diverse party. I've always known that. Even though there are serious allegations of it being a very tribal-centered, like a single tribal-centered party, that in any way, to me, does not represent, in fact, what the party is. The party has been deeply diverse in its setup and membership, including its leadership as well, from people from various groups and regions in the country. Right? But you also have to realize how these parties came into being, post Jawara era, and how United Democratic Party came into existence, and how they continue to contest different elections over the years, and how its membership also evolved over time. Right? So as a policy, United Democratic Party has never, at least publicly, made a point to only establish itself or to only open itself to a single, group of people or region in the country. So granted, politicians to portray United Democratic Party as a single, tribally dominated party, which in a sense, to be fair to UDP, party dol fanam bebe Gambia wala nyam, party jama bije, there is a single public grouping me alonko they are most visible in the setup of their party, right? That has been happening in the Gambia for a long time. But in respect to the issue at hand, minkata Talib Bensouda Kodi, I think Gambian, especially members of the United Democratic Party, and nanti hakilo to la babakel. Until Gambia science and the biggest chance that we have, puruka cool falling in terms of how the country is being run, is it through United Democratic Party. Whether they do that together in partnership with others, that is one thing. But the manner in which they are handling the leadership crisis right now, especially from some of its hardcore members, I think has a potential to completely put the party in disarray. We have a tendency that we try to avoid the issue of tribal conversations. I don't think that's the way. I think we should be able to have these very deep and serious conversations that makes us uncomfortable, especially tribal conversations. Because Ntolka avoid woman kuti even here, for example, in the West, like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they have tribe in the way that they do their politics. Even though Itola tribal politics is more cultural and ideological, Ntola tribal politics is very ethnic based. That's the difference, right? What values or parties has UDP stood on all these years? This is a question I'm asking all of you. What is this core value and principle that UDP stands on that folks like Talib and Suda do not have? What is it? Are you essentially telling us that you have to be purely Mandinka to be the leader of the party? Because if you're not, then all these things that we're seeing, especially from the chairman of Brigama Area Council, Yankuba Dabo, is one that is completely disappointing. I think if people are creating the narrative that, in fact, United Democratic Party is this sort of party, what we should be doing is to dispel that narrative. Instead, not to send people away. As a party, your principal purpose should be, how do we bring people together? How do we constantly, fight and dispel the narrative that puts us in a certain way or presents us in a certain way in light of elections that's just at the corner? Every single vote should matter to the members of the United Democratic Party right now. And now, Yankuba Dabo has the right to express his interest to run for presidency of the Gambia. So does any other, member of any opposition party in the Gambia. It should not be a problem. But to think that, or to deny Talib the opportunity to express his interest to run against Alhaji Hussein Dabo for, the primaries of the United Democratic Party on the basis that Talib is not Mandinka enough, I think is highly problematic. Members of this hardcore, very, of United Democratic Party, looking at folks like us, who, for example, are Mandinkas, already. It's not new. We know it's been there. And even when Talib entered the political fray early on in his career, and some of us were anticipating that, hey, this guy has potential. He could go really far. They're like, no, it's never going to happen because Talib doesn't understand what UDP is about. What is UDP about? You guys talk to us. Explain to us, what is UDP really about? I'm not holding brief for Talib Bensouda at all. I just really want to understand, why should this even be an